So there's a small YouTube channel named Veshremy, and I think that this person sucks. They called me poor, and they disagreed with my video, and they expressed some very, very rude and, frankly speaking, disgusting things. I mean, like, he called me poor, guys. I don't see how this isn't insulting in any way whatsoever. I mean, come on, you're making fun of me for my socioeconomic class? That is disgusting, and frankly speaking, you should go into salt. But anyways, yeah, I mean, obviously I don't really care about this guy, but I mean, this guy does give me like free content, so like, why wouldn't I talk about this guy real quick? Before we continue, please don't go out there and harass this person. This person isn't really doing anything exactly wrong. They're just disagreeing with me on a video that I made. And you know what? Fair enough. If I were you, I wouldn't really agree with my videos either. My videos are solely for entertainment, nothing more. And I don't encourage you guys to harass people by any means, because nothing I say is a fact. You shouldn't go out there and harass people. So with that being said, let's begin. Also, before we continue, just to know that approximately 81.8% of you guys watching this video are not subscribed right now. So if you haven't, smash that like button, hit that like button, or I think it was the other way around. Whatever, you guys know what to do. Hit subscribe, hit like. You don't have to share this video, because just liking and subscribing is good enough for me. That's pretty chill. You don't have to tell your friends about me. That would be embarrassing of you guys. So yeah, I mean, you know, just keep that in mind. So first off, I want to start off by saying that apparently Veshremy is Veshremy's younger brother. I don't exactly know how to prove that, because Veshremy always has a mask on. And there's nothing wrong with having a mask, but I'm just saying I can't exactly prove that Veshremy is Veshremy's younger brother. But I mean, if Veshremy comes out and says, yeah, this is my brother, then I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, for you to be doing this type of thing as his brother, that is very embarrassing for you to be doing. Because you're out here going like, oh yeah, I know, you're poor and something like that. I don't, like, is that supposed to hurt my feelings? Okay, I was born in a low class family. Like, is there something wrong with that? I mean, at the same time, your brother is the one that popped off. If anything, you're the one that's poor and you're just leeching off of your brother. So I don't exactly see how that is supposed to be an insult. I mean, if that is an insult to me, then that's also kind of making fun of yourself in a sense, because you're literally putting your brother in a lot of your videos, or at least some of his video ideas into your videos. I mean, take a look at this. He makes one video, and then after that, like sometime later, you make the video on that same topic. And at the same time, you also started a YouTube channel with your brother, and that's the only video that's on there so far. So I don't really have any other field of comparison to be comparing how you make videos by yourself versus how you make videos with your quote-unquote brother. But yeah, this comment doesn't really make sense. I don't really see, like, what's up with this. I don't really know what to say. And now, I think my video really ticked this guy off, because he left a pretty damn long comment. I mean, there's nothing wrong with leaving long comments on my video, but this guy was, funnily enough, going on an incoherent rant that he was quote-unquote calling me out for by saying this. Seems like you are just mad that he is successful and your videos are slop. What are you even talking about for half of this video? You are just rambling, saying nonsense like boo-hoo, he puts cleavage in his thumbnails. Have you ever gone out in public? Have you ever been to a public beach or pool? Also, you might want to consider using a coherent script for your videos. This video has no structure, and you complain about his voice being too high energy while you are just talking monotone the whole time. Like, bro, how are you going to call him talentless when this is the type of content you make? Your jokes make no sense, your argument makes no sense, this video sucks. Maybe if you understood how the algorithm works, and your videos were entertaining, you could have been successful on here. What a shame. Deleting your videos on Sniper Wolf for what? Are you Mormon or something? Oh well, bro, best of luck in life, stay safe, and God bless you. First of all, let's break this down and boogie real quick here. Seems like you are just mad that he is successful and your videos are slop. What are you even talking about for half the video? Yes, my videos are slop. Like, let's be honest right here real quick. As much effort as I put into these videos, they are not creative by any means. This is literally just me taking a concept, talking about it, and then slapping it on top of gameplay. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, obviously my videos are slop, and there's a lot of other content creators that do the exact same thing I do. It takes some creative liberties to an extent. to be able to do this. And although I am not as creative as other content creators out there in terms of a personality, at the very least, I have a message that I want to send out to my audience. There's like me giving out criticism and pointing out the fact that although these people are creative to an extent, we need to hold some level of standard. We are keeping them grounded in the realms of reality here. We aren't exactly praising them as gods, but we are also not, pushing them down as like a demon or something like that. I'm just saying, hey, these people are not as perfect as most people would think that they are. And that is just something that I want to do. I want to keep people grounded in reality by pointing out, hey, not everybody is what they seem to be. I'm not saying that your quote-unquote brother is the devil or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, this guy also does a few bad things here and there. Don't worship him as, some sort of deity or whatever. There is a level, there's just a level of standard that we need. You are just rambling, saying nonsense like boo-hoo, he puts cleavage in his thumbnails. Have you ever gone out in public? Yeah, I have. I've went to a pool before, I've went to a beach before, I have been to lakes and stuff before, I have seen people in bikinis. That is nothing new to me. Like, that's not a foreign concept to me. I'm not like one of those monks that hide out in the mountains and like never see a woman because of my own religious belief, which we will get back into in a moment. You try and make fun of me for a religious belief that I don't even have, and yeah, we'll get to that in a moment here. But yeah, it's nothing new to me. Like, women in bikinis near a body of water, that's fine. And I know that there's going to be like some sort of argument being constructed like, oh, how many moles of H2O does there need to be for a woman to be able to have a bikini on? The answer is, I don't know. I'm just saying that in that context, when you are near a large body of water, it is appropriate to have like a little bit of cleavage out. It is appropriate to not be wearing certain clothing. It is appropriate to be in your, not birthday suit, but like, have something to cover it. But I mean, you don't need that much clothing on in order to be near a body of water. That is completely fine. However, the problem is that your brother is not doing that. The problem is that he is putting on bikinis and like cleavage. You even admit it's cleavage yourself. So that means that at some point there is a level of cleavage in there. Now, we can establish that there is no body of water near that person. There is no appropriate context, in my opinion at least, where it would be appropriate to have cleavage in the thumbnail. Thus, the only other explanation I could have for your brother including that is in order to sexualize the thumbnail, in order to get more shock value out of it, in order to get random people with hormonal tension to click on those videos. Those gooners are clicking on the videos. Also, when you are saying I'm rambling and saying nonsense, what part of the video is rambling and saying nonsense? Like, I don't think that me talking about that is really just rambling at all. In fact, you yourself literally say, oh, boo-hoo, he includes cleavage in his videos. Have you ever gone out in public? Have you ever been out to a public beach or pool? You admit that there is cleavage there, and clearly YouTube does not allow things like that. So, if anything, I feel like you're the one that's just rambling for some reason. Because clearly, you don't say why I am wrong. You're just saying, hey, have you ever gone out to a pool before? You are wrong because other people do the exact same thing. When, first of all, they don't, and second of all, you're taking that out of the general context of the video. Also, you might want to consider using a script for your videos. This video has no structure, and you can, okay, that's a run-on sentence, which is kind of ironic considering you're calling me out for not having any structure in my video when you don't even have any in your comment. You are factually wrong there. Here is the version history of the Google Doc of my script, and here is the script itself. You are factually wrong here, and frankly speaking, that's a lie that you're saying right there, that, oh, this video doesn't really have any structure, when, first of all, it's meant to be for entertainment and criticism, and number two, it just, your sentence doesn't even have any structure. How would you expect me to want to better myself more when you can't even follow what you criticize me for? You're just preaching the gospel, but not living by it. And then user Shremy goes on to say, and you complain about his voice being too high energy while you just talking monotone the whole time. Like, bro, how are you going to call him talentless when this is the content you make? Your jokes make no sense, your argument makes no sense, this video sucks, and then after that, like, that's just a lot of cope towards the end of that quote-unquote sentence, which just runs on until the end of the comment. But anyways, yeah, let's just play the video where I call him talentless, quote-unquote, and how I'm talking about him and his high-pitched voice and whatnot. But anyways, he's also just constantly screaming the entire time in the video, which, again, loud is not funny. Loud does not make your roast hit harder. I don't understand why you're still saying roasting in 2024. That's also just cringe. And in fact, I'm gonna go on an in-depth argument on why loud does not actually equal funny or talent at all. You are being loud for the sake of being loud, and you are a talentless little prick. The reason why loud can be funny, in my opinion at least, is because people have gradually evolved to think something that is loud is funny. When children are small little trolls that like to be a massive inconvenience to people around them, they find that loud things cause a very discomforting reaction in people. And the louder they are, the bigger the reaction gets. Once the children get that reaction, they are either satisfied or entertained because they're getting a negative reaction from people, which then causes them to be mildly entertained. Eventually, through association, loud things are funny because those same people who were trolls as a kid find that negative reaction to be funny, which also proves my point on why people are inherently born evil, because, you know, they actively seek negative reactions in order to be entertained. And because of that, now we have evolved to this false sense of why loud equals funny. So yeah, there you have it. I am explaining why being loud does not change the fundamental nature of the content that is being reacted to. I am explaining why I don't think that Veshremy is actually talented in any way whatsoever, besides being loud and throwing out middle school level insults. Because to me, he doesn't make me laugh. Out there in the audience, like you guys out there, you guys might find him funny. I really don't care whether or not you find him funny, as long as we can acknowledge that loud is not funny because it doesn't change the fundamental aspect of anything because of what I said in the video. And if you actually watch the video, instead of just skipping through it to try and find points, which is probably why it was incoherent for you in the first place, then yeah, I mean, maybe you would have found some value in that video. And I'm not saying that that video would give value to anybody, even if you fully watch it. I'm just saying that you skipped the entire argument. You don't address the argument that has been made in the video. You don't address anything that has been made in the video besides quote-unquote easy points that you think that would actually work when they just simply don't. And then after that, he goes on to say, you know, your argument makes no sense. This video sucks. It's not a single argument, by the way. The entire video is not a single argument. It is multiple arguments of multiple different things that Veshremy has done that I personally do not agree with. And then after that, he goes on to say, maybe if you understood how the algorithm works and your videos were entertaining, you could have been successful on here. What a shame. Which is kind of ironic because entertaining, like being entertaining fundamentally is different for everybody else. What I find to be funny may not be what you find to be funny, or vice versa, you know? Maybe everybody has a different sense of humor, and the fact that you don't understand that is kind of crazy to me. I am just criticizing, quote-unquote, your brother because I just don't really like him as a person. I disagree with him, so I make a video on him expressing my disagreement because it's the internet. Anybody can have an opinion, and although I'm not saying that there's all good opinions, I'm just saying that I can back up what I say with things that I see based on the sources that I have access to. And obviously, those sources are flawed. You want to know why? It's because they're gathered by me. Obviously, I will have a bias because I hold an opinion. But at the same time, can we at least acknowledge that there is some level of value with the screenshots that I provide that you're refusing to look at for some reason? Even though it's your brother, you can just ask him for the opinion yourself? Yeah, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Ironically, even though it's your comment and you're criticizing me for not making sense, I don't think that you make sense, and I'm explaining why throughout the entire video. I hope you can hear those snaps, it's so that way I can grab your attention because you probably skipped part of the video. And then after that, you proceed to say, what a shame, deleting your videos on SS Sniper Wolf for what? I don't know what to say to that. I think I stated in the video that the reason why I deleted those was because I forgot to do a few things. I forgot to censor it. I forgot to, you know, take out the things that I was condemning so that way I don't become a hypocrite. In fact, actually, if you would notice after you watch the video, if you look at my other videos, I'm going to be privating it because I realized I didn't censor it as much as I should have, and for that I really apologize. I'm sorry. So you are shaming me for trying not to be a hypocrite, or at least you're trying to shame me for not being a hypocrite. Again, I don't feel anything towards your comment. The only reason why I'm doing this is because it's free content, baby, because it's the winter break, and you know what that means. I gotta get on that YouTube grind. But anyways, yeah, that's the reason why I deleted my video on SS Sniper Wolf. It's not videos, I think it's only one video that I privated. That's it. And then after that, the funniest part of your comment is when you say, "Are you a Mormon or something?" Is that supposed to be like a ding towards me? It feels like you're trying to attack me for my religious beliefs, even though I'm not even a Mormon, I'm a Catholic. So now, not only are you assuming my religion, not only are you trying to make fun of my religion, which I'm not even a part of, you're making fun of other people's religion, or at least you're framing it in a condescending way because you're like, "Oh, are you like a Mormon or something for, you know, having a conservative take on things?" That makes no sense. I just don't see what the point of that part was. Are you a Mormon or something? It's not Mormonism for me to be saying, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be putting on big calcium cannons on YouTube because number one, they're not allowed, and number two, it's just decency to not do that on a platform that has a lot of children." So, yeah, I'm just saying, dude, like, that part was not helping your case at all. And then the funniest part about this, what really takes the cake out of this comment, I mean, like, the rest of this comment is kind of funny and silly, but I can see where this person's coming from here. He then later on says, "Oh, well, bro, best of luck in life, stay safe, and God bless you." Were you not just going like, "Are you a Mormon or something," in a condescending way? Like, am I supposed to... I mean, like, thank you for the blessing, of course. Like, I really appreciate that. But at the same time, you literally just said, "Are you like a Mormon or something," in a condescending way, and now you're saying "God bless you," which, thank you, I guess, but, you know, yeah, I'm not really a Mormon, I'm a Catholic. There's a huge difference there. And, yeah, then after that you say, "God bless you." Do I really need to say any more about this? I mean, I don't really need to stretch this part out any further. Like, we can already see the irony in this. So, yeah, that's my response to you. But, if you think this video is over, no, it's not. In fact, I only just got started here, dude. Like, obviously, you really, totally hurt my feelings there. I mean, like, come on, I feel so sad that I am poor, and I was born into a situation that I couldn't control. So, yeah, I mean, oh man, you know, like, if I get insulted, I gotta fire back. So let's take a look at your YouTube channels, huh? First of all, a lot of your content is branded over being Veshremy's little brother. That's kind of loser behavior right there. I mean, like, come on, you're calling me out for making slop while at the same time branding your content, doing nearly the same things as your brother, really. And then after that going like, "Oh yeah, no, all your slop is disgusting and it sucks." Yeah, I mean, like, that part where, like, my videos suck, I really don't blame you. Obviously, my videos are not the best out there. There's obviously better videos out there than mine, but at the same time, dude, like, come on, have some level of consistency. And can we take a look at one of the posts that you made approximately 5 months ago, where you say, quote unquote, and I'm quoting this from you, by the way, "The reason I haven't been posting is because Veshremy keeps me hostage as his slave." I can't read that previous word because, you know, probably, you know, have some sort of punishment for that. But, you know, you can see that's a little bit weird, considering the fact that your brother is a very popular YouTuber and you are supposedly his brother. Yeah, that's, you know, that's your brother you're talking about here. So that's not a very good look for you, user Shremy. Like, I'm just saying, you know, like, you could have done better than this post. And of course, obviously, that joke is a post, or that oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep that in because, you know, unlike you, I'm not afraid to admit to my mistakes, but yeah, that's just really weird for you to be doing that, especially in the context of your brother being a very famous YouTuber holding you as a slave or something like that. That's just not an appropriate joke to be making. And additionally, take a look at this. Oh, you have a little bit of inappropriate content, but, you know, I mean, this seems like something that's been passed down along the family. And I'm not saying that, oh, just because Veshremy and Veshremy's brother are related, that all of a sudden means that they're one and the same person, and whatever sins one person does is also a burden on the other person's soul. No, I'm not saying that at all, because first of all, I don't preach the gospel to random people, and second of all, that's not exactly accurate to be doing. These are two different people, and obviously whatever Veshremy's brother does, that doesn't apply to Veshremy himself. But you are his family member, and your reputation is semi-tied to your brother's because you two are technically business partners. You guys technically make content together, or made content with each other. You guys haven't made content with each other in a fat while by now. But, you know, that's just not a good look for your brother, especially now that he's been posting again. You really don't want to do these things because that just ruins your brother's reputation as a YouTuber. Not that it's a good reputation to begin with, but I mean, you know, whatever. And let me take a couple quick pot shots at Veshremy real quick. I mean, take a look at this. Oh boy, he became what he swore to destroy. Look at this. First you were like, oh yeah, boo, Speezy's cringe. All he does is just eat very loudly and munch and crap. But then you go turn around a few months later and go like, yeah, I have been secretly a Spice King TikToker this entire time, and none of you guys knew this. I am 2 steps ahead. And it's just, you know, that's just kind of cringe now because you were making fun of Speezy and now all of a sudden you're making this content. And I know at the end of the day, this is all for gits and shiggles. I mean, like, come on, you're not exactly meaning this. Like, you aren't exactly meaning, hey, Speezy sucks and I hate him so much. No, you're just doing this for the content, and that I respect. But come on, man, you can't just do this and then immediately turn around and go like, yeah, I've been a Spice King. That's kind of cringe if I were to say so myself. Also, I don't know how I forgot to point this out, but in a few seconds of this YouTube short that you made right here, you told some guy, hey dude, speak English. I can't even understand you, bruh. That you know what, you're telling that to an Asian guy. That sounds a little bit racist, you know. You're telling somebody to speak English even though they are, and yeah, you're saying that towards an Asian guy. And as a fellow Asian myself, I really don't appreciate that. And I don't know how the rest of the community feels, but I feel a little bit insulted a bit here. Yeah, I'm just pointing that out real quick. I'm not saying that you're a racist or anything. I'm just saying, like, no, I'm like legitimately serious. I'm not calling you a racist or anything like that. I'm just saying that sounds really, really bad. And one final thing that I want to talk about right now is the fact that you literally say, and I quote, I do not reuse any content. I am at Veshremy's twin brother. All my videos are satire. And then you literally say I do not reuse any content. Yet I scroll down and then I see funniest user Shremy shorts compilation. Do you know what a compilation is? A compilation is just you compiling all of your past videos and putting them together to create 1 giga video. What are you waffling about, dude? You're trying to get me on this gotcha moment, like, oh, your videos suck, but then this is your channel, dude. Like, I know my channel's not perfect. I've had my fair share of mistakes, but this, like, you made so many mistakes. Like, it's like this, like the pot calling the kettle black, dude. Like, you can't just be doing this. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I really wanted to say. Overall, Veshremy's brother, you suck. You stinky. You a poo-poo head. And yeah, I mean, like, come on. Like, I feel like Jesse when he's like, he can't keep getting away with this. And instead of he, it's just all these people that I have been calling out in the past, like every single prediction that I've made, and yet still people don't listen. Still, there's people going like, oh yeah, but I mean, like, there's a chance that Willie Tato is wrong, and I'm just sitting there, like, on my knees going like, he can't keep getting away with this. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all I really have to say. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.